Most people are probably aware of the Russian invasion of Ukraine over the last 24 to 48 hours. And today we're going to talk about the ham radio response to that. Now, I'm not going to get political. I'm not going to start pointing fingers. I'm not going to say anything that might be disruptive. But I'm going to share information because on this channel we do reviews, news, and how-tos. So this is news in the world of amateur radio today as response to the Russian-Ukraine situation. Check this out.
Shut up and sit down.
Ham Radio 2.0, thanks for joining the channel today. My name's Jason. I'm KC5HWB. So I've been reading a lot online about amateur radio response to the current situation in the Ukraine, mostly in the Ukraine. And we feel for all the ham radio operators in the Ukraine, they've been told to shut down operations. They're not allowed to use their amateur radios during this time. The government has come in and told them, hey, you can't use your ham radio for personal use or for public use or something like that. So I found a news article a minute ago. I'll share that with you in a minute. And it's a little bit, I guess it's a little bit strange, but in the same way, it's kind of not strange. Let me just say this without getting too deep into this. Just be thankful for the privileges we have in the United States. Be thankful for the freedoms we have in the United States. Not everyone enjoys those kinds of freedoms. And I'm just going to leave that there. So over the course of the last 24 to 48 hours, Russia invaded Ukraine, and we can't help but feel, what's the word I'm looking for? Not sorry for, but we can't but feel compassion for those in the Ukraine. There's several good ham radio companies, ham radio manufacturing companies in the Ukraine, including Rig Expert. Been doing a lot of videos on Rig Expert here lately on my channel, and you've seen some of those around the internet, around YouTube as well. So Rig Expert is based out of Ukraine, and they issued a statement earlier today. Well, I got it earlier today, and I'm going to read it to you here in just a minute. Added on top of all that, I can't help but feel a little bit of sorrow or perhaps concern for those companies that are actually in Russia. These will include Lab 599 and Expert Electronics, who make the popular Sun SDR HF ham radios. So, as has happened with wars in the past, a lot of times the Russian people are not responsible for what their government does. So don't blame the Russian people for this skirmish, because I don't know very many people in Russia, but the 2 or 3 that I've traded emails with are very much against what is happening over there, very much against their country invading the Ukraine. So whether you agree with that or not, don't blame the Russian people for it, because it's really kind of out of their hands. So the first thing I'm going to share with you is an article that I found on the ARRL website. And it basically just states that the amateur radio in Ukraine ordered off the air in state of emergency. This was posted on the 24th. I'm recording this video on the 25th. I'll probably post it later today, but if not, first thing in the morning, but probably later today. We'll see. A state of emergency has been declared in the Ukraine just prior to the Russian military invasion. Among other things, on February 24th, a decree from President Zelensky, I'm not going to try to say his first name, will remain in effect for at least 30 days. It's published on the website of the Verkhovna Rada, I'm saying that wrong, I'm sure, Ukraine's unicameral legislative body. A state of emergency includes regulation of TV and radio activities and a ban on the operation of amateur radio transmitters for personal and collective use. So, yeah, so they got banned from using ham radio in the Ukraine. So we're not going to hear anything, at least not legally, we're not going to hear anything out of the Ukraine for a while. But you guys stay safe over there. I don't know if you have access to YouTube. I don't know if you can, if you're watching this video right now, if you've watched other videos on YouTube, if you're in the Ukraine or around that area and can understand English, then please stay safe over there. We are all over here thinking about you, rest assured. So the other article I found was on Southgate Amateur Radio News. And this is about Poland's radio amateurs. Now, hats off to the Polish amateur radio societies, because they're members of the Poland's National Amateur Radio Society, PZK. Polski, I'm not going to even try to say that. There's no way. PZK, Papa Zulu Kilo, that's how I'm saying that, are providing WinLink email communications out on the 160, 80, and 20 meter bands. A post on the Polish Amateur Radio Union on Facebook reads, "Dear ham radio operators, in the face of the latest threat in our region and possibility of an upcoming wave of refugees, with over 2 million, I think that means, already living in Poland, we would like to remind you that we are at your disposal If you're a licensed amateur radio operator, you can send information by email to your relatives in Poland or emergency services via WinLink system, which works over the HF bands independently of access in the local ICT infrastructure, and goes winlink.org/WinLink Express, which is the software that is used for WinLink. So amateur radio to the rescue once again. We advise you download the software, install it, and check its operation. Polish WinLink nodes are QRV on 160, 80, and 20 meters. SR5 WLK is 3595.5. SR3 WLK is 14.11. And SP3 IEW is 1.865. All on the HF amateur radio band. So that's pretty cool that Poland is taking a step up for refugees and wanting to support the ham radio community in that regard. So hats off to the Polish amateur radio operators over there. They're so willing to send messages in and out of the area for loved ones and communications. Something I found, so I've received a couple of emails from people overseas, and and I'm a member of some I don't get on Facebook a whole lot, but I'm a member of some Facebook groups, and these groups are posting to their Facebook groups. So the one that Rig Expert right now, which again, Rig Expert is in the Ukraine. They are in the country that's currently being invaded. They are saying right now that contrary to all our hopes, aggression from the northern neighbor has reached its maximum point. As of today, we've been subjected to an open, full-scale military invasion. Right now, we're receiving dozens of letters of support from partners worldwide. These words give us hope and strength. According to previously developed plans, we will do everything possible to ensure the entire operation of our business. So pray for the Ukraine. Make sure those guys are in your thoughts and prayers. If prayer is a part of your life, being sure to include them with that for sure. But that comes directly from Rig Expert Ukraine. Another one, now this one's kind of from the other side of the fence. Well, another location. I shouldn't say the other side of the fence, but another location. But this one's from Lab 599, who is in Russia. We deeply regret what is happening. We all hoped that such madness could not happen in the modern world. The Lab 599 company is a team of radio amateurs and people who are passionate about their work. We are categorically against the aggression in any of its manifestations. We produce peaceful products and think the slogan "Made for Peace" will become the slogan of our company. Regarding the current state of affairs, the team continues to fulfill contractual obligations to partners. We provide service and warranty services, and we will continue firmware support. We thank everyone who's understanding the situation. Sincerely, hopefully the madness will end soon. So hats off to, once again, Russian citizens and civilians and companies located in that country that have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on with what the actions of their own government. So once again, be thankful we live in the United States. And those, all of you who live outside of the United States, you guys stay safe out there. There's a lot of really great countries on the planet. I'm not trying to say anything about my country is better than yours. That's not what I mean. What I mean is just enjoy the freedoms that we all have outside of the countries that are experiencing this current set of tragedies. So the last thing I'm going to share is, and this one I found very strange, but we'll go ahead and share it anyway. So on RTLSDR.com, I found a post, and this was also put up yesterday on February 24th. Russian bomber HF activity, amateur radio SDR hobbyist warning again. Now, this was not a story I'd heard before, so anybody who has more details in this story, please comment below. With Russian missiles now falling on the Ukraine, it seems that the worst has occurred and a full-scale invasion has started. We wish for the safety of the Ukrainian citizens, and to that end, we wanted to reiterate our safety warning to all SDR owners and amateur radio operators in the Ukraine that we put out 3 weeks ago. Please remember that last year, a Crimean resident was arrested and currently imprisoned by Russian forces for using RTLSDR and scanner radios to listen to the air band. Crimea was a previous territory in the Ukraine annexed by Russian forces in 2014. Along with the Ukraine's declared state of emergency, one of the conditions is that all transmitting radio amateur activities must cease. We would also like to strongly recommend ceasing any public-facing receiving activities, including ADSB and web SDR. So, wow. Once again, they put someone in prison for using RTLSDR, which is basically transmitting or broadcasting HF shortwave listening frequencies over the internet. Be thankful that you live in the United States. I'm going to say that again. So you guys in Canada, be thankful. You guys in South America, be thankful. Certain parts of it, anyway. So, so what do you think? What other stories have you heard? What other information do you have? Like I said, be sure that Rig Expert, Lab 599, Expert Electronics, and other companies I might not have mentioned today that are located in both Russia and the Ukraine are in your thoughts and prayers. If you're a praying person, be sure they're in your prayers. And hopefully this disruption of peace in the part of Europe where it's happening, hopefully this will not last very long, and hopefully it will be over very soon. And we all pray for a regard for human life and safety of human life, and as little loss of life as possible, possibly none. We're going to pray for no loss of human life whatsoever. But we, as ham radio operators, have a duty to keep relations, foreign and worldwide relations, open and flowing and peaceful relations and negotiations throughout, and just keep the lines of communications open and information flowing into and out of the areas of turmoil for those that are involved in the turmoil but are caught up in it but not really involved in it. So go out there today and reach out to people you may know in the area. Send them an email via WinLink. Send them a message. Send them a text message. Pick up your phone and call them if that's still working in the area, and tell them you're thinking about them. And if anything that they need, please provide it if you can. So link any other articles. All the articles I've linked today will be in the description below. Link anything else you might see. Let me know what else you've heard, and maybe we'll do another video on this again in a few days or next week. 73 guys, and stay safe out there.